They gave me away like I was nothing. Not a person. Not a woman with feelings and fears and dreams of my own. Just property. Something to be handed over, used, and discarded when I was no longer convenient. My name is Hagar. And if you have ever felt invisible, if you have ever been used by someone who was supposed to protect you, cast aside when you became a problem, left alone in a wilderness with no one to call your name, then I need you to stay with me right now. Because what happened to me in that desert? It changed everything I thought I knew about God. I was Egyptian. A servant in the household of a man named Abram and his wife Sarai, people who were wealthy, respected, chosen by God for a covenant I barely understood. I had not chosen this life. I had not chosen to leave Egypt to serve in a foreign home, to belong to people who spoke of a God I could not see and had never called my own. But I was there. I served faithfully. I kept my head down, did what was asked of me, and tried not to want too much. That is something you learn quickly when you are a slave. Do not want too much. Then came the day Sarai called me aside. She had not been able to have children, a grief she carried quietly, but it was always there behind her eyes. And she had a plan. She told me I would be given to Abram as a wife. That I would carry the child she could not. That the baby born from my body would legally be hers. I did not have a choice. I want you to understand that. No one sat down with me and asked what I wanted. No one considered my body, my heart, my future. I was a solution to someone else's problem. And so I became Abram's second wife. Not out of love. Not out of desire. Out of necessity. When I discovered I was pregnant, something shifted in me. I will not pretend otherwise. There was a strange, terrible pride that rose up inside me. For the first time in my life I had something Sarai did not. My body had done what hers could not. I know now that I handled it poorly. I let that pride show. I looked at her differently. And she felt it. The tension between us grew until it became something sharp and dangerous. And Sarai, she went to Abram. She told him I had become unbearable. That I had made her feel small in her own home. And Abram, the man who had lain with me and whose child I was carrying, he told her to do whatever she wanted with me. Whatever. But I was pregnant and completely unprotected. Sarai made my life unbearable. I will not go into every detail, but I will tell you that every day felt like a punishment. Like I was being reminded again and again that I did not matter. So I ran. I was pregnant, alone, Egyptian, and I ran into the desert toward home, toward a place I had not seen in years. I did not have a plan. I just knew I could not stay another day in that house. I found a spring of water on the way to Shur and I collapsed beside it. I was exhausted, frightened. I had no idea what was going to happen to me or my child. And that is when I heard it. A voice. Hagar, servant of Sarai, where have you come from and where are you going? I looked up. There was someone there. An angel of the Lord, and he knew my name. My name. Not the Egyptian. Not the servant. Not Sarai's girl. Hagar. I cannot explain to you what it feels like when someone who knows everything about you, every wrong you have done, every place you have failed, still calls you by name with that kind of gentleness. I told him the truth. I said I was running from my mistress. And he spoke to me. He told me to go back. He told me the road would be hard. I will not pretend the angel made it easy. He told me to return and submit to what I was walking away from. That was not easy to hear. But then he said something that broke me open completely. He told me I was going to have a son. He told me to call him Ishmael, which means God hears, because the Lord had heard my suffering. God had heard my suffering. I was a slave. I was Egyptian. I was not the one the covenant was about. And yet God had stopped, looked down, and heard me crying in a desert that should have swallowed me whole. I did something then that I do not think many people realize I did. I gave God a name. I called him El Roi, the God who sees me. Not because someone taught me to. Not because I had grown up worshiping him. But because I had experienced him personally in the middle of my worst moment. I had been invisible my entire life, and this God had seen me. I said out loud, "Have I truly seen the one who sees me?" That spring was named after that moment. Bir Lahai Roi, the well of the living one who sees me. My encounter with God is written into geography, into the earth itself. A nobody Egyptian slave woman, and her moment with God was so significant that it became a landmark. Think about that. I went back. I had Ishmael. He was beautiful and strong and wild and mine. But years passed. And the impossible happened. Sarai, now called Sarah, had her own son. And the day of his weaning celebration, things broke apart again. Like, share and subscribe if you'd like to see part 2. God bless you.